Hello, everybody. Well, what a pleasure it is to be here again for a very special episode of Heavy Metal Truants Television, joined by the ever fantastic Helen Curl, the true backbone of HMT, and an absolute rock of strength. As I guess, Helen, we're barreling into our 12th year incredibly.
We
Um,
are.
no idea how we got here, and somehow it always sneaks up on us. And yet again, I'm completely surprised that this is happening yet again. How does it feel for you?
It's kind of the same. Well, we've obviously been organising this since November. So for me, it just continues every year. Like there's maybe a little downtime kind of kind of November, December, but we're all I'm always doing something. And yeah, then suddenly it's May and suddenly it's June the 1st. And I see the post, oh well, virtual challenge started. I'm like, what? Wait, I thought that was like next week. Oh my god. So yeah, it has come up quick. But yeah.
Yeah,
Um we've also got the jerseys in. I don't
yeah.
know if you want to see them.
Actually, yeah. Would you give us a little twirl? Yes, fantastic. Helen Curl is modeling the big fashion for summer of 2024, the HMT virtual T-shirt. That should be arriving with people very soon indeed. And Helen, what can physical writers do if they order T-shirts? Well, I guess everyone gets a T-shirt, don't they?
Yeah, so all the physical riders will be getting three of these t-shirts with the physical details on the back when they arrive at the Big Penny Social next Wednesday at 7 a.m. So everyone will receive those, and hopefully they've already ordered their cycle jerseys and hoodies and stuff online, and that will be hopefully being shipped out this week. So they should arrive before they have to be at Big Penny Social next week.
Well, it's really exciting stuff. And what else can you tell us about HMT 12 so far? How many writers do we have? How are we doing
So
with fundraising?
we have 121 virtual riders signed up, which is crazy. And we've already had about 48 people putting their results up on Race Nation, which is awesome. It would be great to see if we can get all 121 that have signed up to post their mileage. Obviously, we don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that would be something I'd love to see. And then we have 33 riders this year for the physical challenge, which will be fun. Some people are just joining for one day, first day or the last day. But it's going to be a nice small group. I think the camping may have put people off slightly. I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm excited. It's adventure. We have no idea what it's going to be like. But the bottom line is it's for the kids. It's for the charities.
It is. It
It's the
is.
only thing that matters. So how are we doing with the fundraising? What are we at?
Fundraising so far, let me get the magic number up. So on Race Nation, our event totals for online are £17,957.13. And our offline, which is when people have sent things into the bank or they'll send in a check or do something slightly different, but just keep it offline. We've got another 18,000 £568.80 on the offline. So far in total, we should have raised about 39,000, which is a great start for the start of the virtual challenge. But now is the time while you're riding, especially in the virtual challenge, but also for the physical riders that are starting next week, get those donation emails out, get those people tell people what you're doing, tell them why you're doing it and what charities you're doing it for, and start getting that money to come in.
Yes, it's fantastic advice. And of course, all that fundraising is down to magnificent people who join us year in and year out to do a good thing in the name of heavy metal. And so in just a moment's time, we're going to be joined by a really great example of one of our favorite people who's not just doing the physical ride, he's also doing the virtual ride. He's a returning rider. We're going to cut now to a wonderful man named Aslan. And welcome back, everybody. One of the wonderful things about Heavy Metal Truants is it really brings people together from around the world. And I guess, Helen, you're going to probably agree ferociously with me that one of the best things to happen to us is actually one of the worst things that ever happened to us. It was the year that we had to cancel the heavy metal truants
Oh
because of
yeah.
the pandemic. And of course, when we canceled the pandemic, it meant that we had to find another way to keep on going, which was to invent the virtual heavy metal truants ride, which is why I'm so excited to chat to someone who I think is very emblematic of the heavy metal truant spirit. And he's really thrown himself into it, not for the first time this year as well. Aslan, how you doing?
Hi, yeah, I'm great. Thanks. Thanks for
Yeah.
inviting me on.
Yeah, well, it's a delight to have you here. And I guess the first question I have for you, because I think that you're such a great example of the sorts of wonderful people we attract, is how did you come into heavy metal insurance? How did you hear about us and decide to get involved?
So I heard about the Truants via the Lounge Kittens. So yeah,
I love those
former
guys.
Truants themselves, they're amazing people, and I got to know them through they had a an album sort of crowdfunding thing. So having seen them on tour and then getting involved with that, and then seeing all the stuff that they were doing, and them getting involved with the Truants ride, that that brought me in, and I saw the fun that they were having with it and the great causes. So yeah.
Please tell me that you downloaded their we did a special HMT and the Lounge Kittens collaboration on a Queen song. I think a lot of people may know it. Please tell me that you were one of those people that downloaded it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We've got all of that. We've got, in fact, even my daughter, she's coming to join us download this year,
Awesome.
and so she's going to meet us there and be ready to greet us over the finish line.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Is it your first
she,
time?
it's her first download. It's her first proper music festival. She
Wow.
has seen the Kittens before, and she is a big fan of them. So we've been getting a whole lot of patches and putting them on uh,
Oh,
the top for her, and she's got a big
the
old
day.
Lounge Kittens
Yeah,
backpack on
the days when
there.
you could get your first go to your music festival. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, it's an exciting thing, Ethan, but of course, what's really crucial about all this is that you're not just doing the physical ride with us as well. You've already started your heavy metal insurance journey.
I have, yeah, yeah. So this year, well, last year I did the physical ride. The previous year I did the virtual ride, and well, each time just got to step it up one a little bit more, and so right, okay, all you great people who've done amazing things and donated and very kindly helped me, encouraged me to be involved and take part in all of this. I've got to do something more each time, right? So so I had to step it up and to go from being virtual only to physical only this year. It was let's do both.
Combined.
Absolutely. And for me as a cyclist, the thing that got me into riding was mountain biking. So I'm a mountain biker at heart. But then during lockdown, a good friend of mine was like, "No, come and join me on some road rides, and it'll be a good way to keep fit for being out on the trails." So that got me into road riding, and now I can do both and combine that with the fundraising and with the truants and the music and all these things that I love.
That's
Oh,
awesome. So have you been out on the trail? Like, have you done? So obviously we've introduced a mountain biking challenge for the virtual ride this year. So have you been out on the trails and like trying to emulate one of the I think it what did we call it? The ride of the beast or something?
It
I
was
can't remember.
right through the hills. Uh,
Ride through the hills. That's it.
yeah,
Obviously.
yeah.
Obviously. That's awesome. So have you been out trailing?
Yeah, absolutely. So day one, I was straight out there and hit the trails. Luckily for me, I live in the middle of the forest. So I've got loads of amazing trails nearby. And in fact, there's a trail center pretty close by as well. So I went out there and hit the trails at Swinley Forest. And that was great. I did try to live stream that, It was a complete failure. So who'd have thought it in the middle of the forest? There's no phone signal.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Look, you're doing the virtual ride, you're doing the physical ride, you're doing it kind of over the same 2 weeks. You're also fundraising like crazy. So I think you're doing an amazing job. You don't need to live stream anything. So thank you so much for what you're doing. It's awesome.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Aslan, we'll see you on the road, man. Ride safely, and thanks so much for what you do.
See you soon.
Cheers, bro. Bye.
Bye.
And that just about does us for a really lovely conversation, Helen, with such a lovely man. But I mean, the truth is, HMT is like a magnificent filter. It's a magnet and also a filter, and we just end up with the loveliest people. But of course, it's not just about the people who actually go on the bicycles or walk or run in our names. It's about the magnificent support crew behind it. And of course, Helen, a lot of people think that it just happens magically, but it does not, does it? And in just a moment's time, we're going to be joined by, I think, one of the unsung heroes of heavy metal Truants. Helen, why don't you give us that intro?
So next up, we have the very awesome Lucy Collette, who has been with Classic Challenge and organising all of the rides for us, including on the Truants Foundation, as well as Heavy Metal Truants, for the last, I don't know how long. Lucy is an absolute stalwart, and she's my rock during these during the summer months. So Lucy, hello, welcome to everybody. Welcome to HMTV.
Hello, thanks for having me.
I'm surprised we haven't had you on this before, to be honest.
Yeah, well, 2024 is the year to start.
Exactly. So Lucy, what have we got in store for the riders this year? I know that we've got obviously the big camping night, but is there anything specific you can tell us about the campsite to get everyone excited?
Yeah, so obviously the major change this year is camping on night one in the delights of Milton Keynes. So I think camping is going to throw in a different element to this ride. Obviously, you guys have been going for years and years now, and there is the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This ride definitely isn't broken, but it was a way to like adapt it, make it, just mix it up a bit, attract new people, change the experience for people. So yeah, camping. So camping will go one of two ways, depending on the weather, really. Both ways will involve beer and sitting around at camp. There is the term boiler bags for dinners that have possibly been thrown around. So, people are going to adapt to camping hardship that night. It's not going to quite be the Mercure that we're used to the night before, the year before. But yeah, camping I think will be great. It will add a team element. I mean, camping, we're not out in the sticks. We are at a proper campsite, everyone, so it is okay. But it adds sort of a bit of camaraderie and teamship that day. People will buddy up in their tents, or they've got their own, depending on what they've chosen. We've got a big group dining sort of tent style thing for the evening where we have these bags. We've got beer. It will be sunny is what we've planned for. And even if it's not sunny, we've got a big group dining tent. So that's the point of having that. So yeah, camping is going to be an experience.
It is. And so I heard there was rumors flying around of like JCB cabins and princess themed moats. And there's like, isn't there a theme park nearby?
Yes, it's not your average campsite. That's what I mean. We're getting to download, so we can't be going off around certain areas. So we are in Milton Keynes, and we are next to Gulliver's theme park. So if you want to watch a dinosaur roller coaster whilst you're going to bed, that's over to your left. So yeah, we've got our own area though. So we're in sort of the bit called the Meadows. So we've got our own area. Some of the group are in cabins, some of them are in tents. So we're like over there. But I'm sure people will see sort of, like the dinosaur hut, the Wild West wing, the fairy princess cabin. So there's a few other bits going on, but at least we're all together in our like hub, as it were.
And you and me are staying in the princess suite, right?
Yeah, we're buddies. Yeah,
awesome. I love that.
I mean, Lucy, one of the biggest things about the Heavy Metal Truants physical challenge, of course, is just how much work goes on behind the scenes. That's really unseen by a lot of the people that turn up on the day one of the actual ride up to Download Festival. You've been doing this for years. What can people who haven't done HMT yet expect from the ride, and what can we do to make your lives easier?
Well, everyone's already done it now because everyone's replied to my emails, so the lives are easier now. What people expect, so I think HMT is quite unique in being a charity challenge, that it gets like-minded people together for the obviously the reason people want to go to download, but the cause, the charities that you're supporting, people have such strong connections to. The charity partners themselves obviously come to the start, come to the finish. They're a big part of why you do this, and they're really supportive. I think if you were coming on this ride and you didn't know anyone, by the end you definitely will. I know that's sort of a bit cliche to say, but it's only 2.5 days of riding, but you go through a lot together. You sort of experience a lot as you go. You see people possibly at their better and worse. I mean, our distances aren't huge, but they are still a massive challenge. They're a challenge to any people. And throw in weather there, whether it's sun or whether it's rain, you're going through it all together. And you sort of really feel that. And you do feel on these rides, especially we've got a bit over the last couple of years, we've adapted the route anyway. And the sort of the lunch spots are real, like, they are a real high point when you just walk in and you hear the atmosphere and people are all cheering and just having a nice time, and then like gearing up for, want of a better word, gearing up for the next lot of hills or things like that. And I think when you get to the hotel, so we are going to hotel on the second night. So camping one night, Hilton the next night. When you get to that Hilton, obviously we're very familiar with that now. We know the bar. I mean, actually it's had a refurb, but we know, and sort of everyone beelines for there, and you know what's going to happen, and the beers are all out, and that's always a nice feeling. And the way we've structured the ride is we have two chunky, challenging days, and then obviously the final day for getting to download is a nice morning. People possibly do it a little bit hungover. They know what to expect, and it's sort of cruising then in and to our lovely finish line at download, which again, it's a great way. No one else goes in that way. It's a great way to experience it. We've got our own area, beers again, common theme on the ride. So yeah, I think people can expect, and it does sound a bit like cliche or cringe to sort of be like, oh, and then you'll make friends for life, but people do, and that's why people come back. We have so many regular riders. They want to come back. They want to do it again. So.
Well, can't wait to get out there. Look forward to seeing all of our physical riders and supporters at the Big Penny Social. Big change from last year. We are not at Ali Pally. We're at Big Penny Social. Lucy, I know you're between darting around the world, so thank you so much for making the time for us. And we'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
7 a.m. next Wednesday.
See you all at Big Penny. Bye.
Fantastic. Yeah, bye. I gotta say, it's not often enough that we properly thank the people that make it all possible. And I know what wonderful, generous people they are, but man, Lucy is an absolute dynamo, isn't she?
Yeah, 1 in a million. The girl she just has logistics coming out of her fingers. Like nothing is too much for her. She's amazing. And we ask some really stupid things sometimes.
No, but I mean, it's all part of it, right? You know, people are stepping out of one reality and into another, and people like her make it so much easier to make that transition, which is a real gift. And so, yeah, worth her weight in gold. And yeah, we couldn't do without it. So, well, I guess we're going to get back to the business of having heavy metal truants break all records and make history now. But before we actually sign off, we got a little bit of a special surprise for people who watched this.
Indeed. So I don't know if anyone knows, but I used to go to drama school, and there was a certain somebody in a class above me that did a few shows that became quite popular, I hear. And she's really nicely agreed to do a little message for us. So I thought we could just play that quickly.
Okay, roll tape.
Hello, Heavy Metal Truants. It's Natalie Dormer here. I keep hearing amazing things about your exploits on behalf of children and your incredible efforts in the support of Childline. I have loved the charity for so many years, and I've got the privilege of being NSPCC's ambassador for Childline, so I wanted to send you a heartfelt thanks. Helen, Alex, all of you involved, you are total superstars. I've seen Childline's work in action, and believe me, your support is helping change children's lives. All of the very best of luck for this year's ride, and I'll be thinking of you all. Long may your brilliant support of Childline continue. Good luck, guys.
Well, Helen, I got to say, that was completely amazing. And it never ceases to surprise me just how many fantastic people have rallied around what we do from every walk of life, you know, but the arts and music, people just seem to respond to us. And I have to say that was just one of the best things just to have happened just now. So yeah.
Of course. Well, so Mike McGrath from Childline, who actually is going to be on the ride next week on the last day with us in going into download. Mike has worked with Natalie for ages, and he's been telling her about what we're doing. And she was, yeah, so impressed that she just wanted to say a little something. So yeah, I'm really glad we managed to get that. So that's for you guys, because it is tough, kind of, fundraising and doing this every year, and we know how difficult it can be to to garner that support and to get those donations in. So that was a little treat.
Indeed. Well, hats off, Natalie, and to everyone who supports us from around the world. So, Helen, the physical ride is going to be beginning next week. The virtual walk, run, and ride is on right now. What do people need to do?
So they just need to log on to Raise Nation. You should have already registered. So for the virtual ride, please make sure that you're uploading your mileage every day. You can submit multiple lines. I know people have had some problems doing that over this weekend, but that's all fixed. So you can submit multiple rides or mileages. You can do it via Strava. You can do it via photo uploads. However, or you can just do it manually by typing it in. It's available on the Race Nation app as well as the Race Nation website. So make sure that you're getting your numbers in so that we can see how far you guys are cycling for the Heavy Metal Truants. And then secondly, just don't forget to get those donation links out. Get people sponsoring you, because you've got to turn those mileage into pounds. That's what we're doing it for.
Yeah, and tag us on social. If you're on social media, make sure you use the hashtags that we've raised suggested in the newsletter. Remember, it's for the kids. If you're doing the virtual challenges, keep on going. If you're doing the physical ride, well, I'll see you on Wednesday. Guys, love you very much. We'll see you soon.
But yeah.